Well, I have a very interesting study group for you. The encyclopedia defines a collection of 5 items. So right now we have on the counter 5 Prévost era Huret dolls. So the Prévost is the final owner of the Huret company. And if you can think about any company that can survive in form from the 18th century, going back to Grandpa with the lock business, until the turn of the last century, that is an incredible accomplishment. But you have to change with the times. By the time the Prévost era Hurets were being created, pretty much the French doll market had been saturated with many, many producers. So they had to come up with a new concept, which is the new concept is the art doll. So you have a couple of generations that all grew up with beautiful French dolls. So basically, they're doll lovers. So now we have to do something new, modern, and fresh, representing the time. So what we have here is a group of the Prévost era Huret dolls that now, Prévost, sorry. I've got my editor-in-chief here, David Robinson, to correct me. Oops, we flipped our lid. And what is fascinating about this is we have literally 5 different faces. If you look at them, and we're going to, well, let's start over here, David. This one, I think, is a little bit earlier than the rest, and we're practically a bebe. Not quite, but practically a bebe. But we have a little bit of a earlier body type. It's wood with zinc hands, and they're very nicely formed. Glass eyes. This one is beautifully painted, I feel. Now, I wouldn't say that any of these dolls have exceptional bisque. It is not the era of exceptional bisque, and I can't tell you why. I don't know. Is it the working conditions or what they would want to pay? This would be very appealing, a jester type doll, not quite Police Chanel, but a jester. And this would be very decorative, that would go into a lovely salon. But there is, the faces are becoming elongated, and that has to do with what's going on fashion-wise, of what's considered beautiful. Then we move to this one. This guy, I'm going to have a talk with Julie about him, because he looks like he has been ravaged by the other ladies. Again, the body is more representative of this body, a little bit different, but I didn't show you this one, has the more slender fingers. And these are all in metal. So the rest of the body is wood and this is metal. Here we have the daughter of the regiment, the girl that serves water to the troops. And we had a world war raging at the time. So whenever there's that going on, then these patriotic pieces come out. And this is really spectacular clothing. I think is interesting is, even though it's of the teen era, they're doing a lot of sewing techniques that are 20, 30, 40 years before. And I believe that she's the only one in the group that has classic marked Huret shoes. But we also have glass eyes, very red lips. Remember, ladies are now, it's commonplace to wear makeup and lipstick and eyeliners, which they would make out of charcoal, but a classic ensemble. But I'm saving the best for last. And what I mean by that is I'm going to take a leap and say that this costume very well could be a Jean Lanvin original piece. And she was a very famous designer of the teens, 20s, 30s, a absolute rival of the now world famous Chanel. And she had only one daughter, and she was a doll lover. And she dressed a whole series of these dolls, which are in the major museums in Paris today. But this just screams of Jean Lanvin's work. So in actuality, even though this is a spectacular face, and I really think of all the dolls that are on the table, this one has the most gorgeous quality bisque, the eye painting. What's really important on this one is the overall package, and fine feathers make a fine bird. And if this could be researched and proven that it is a Jean Lanvin original piece, it would really have a lot of meaning. But it's really nice to come to a place like this and to have someone like Julie that's willing to share with all of us in 66 countries a study group where we can really compare all the different faces. And just here you have the constant question we have is how tall or how big are Hurets? Well, you can see here they can have different size heads, but they're all in the same general range of shape and height. So for me, it's always a joy to get to see and compare these wonderful dolls. So friends, we'll be back.
Remember to like, subscribe, and hit that notification button.